Welcome to Dan's On Fandoms. I'm Dan. Now that we know that Star Wars The Bad Batch is set to release on May 4th, I thought it'd be good to talk about some potential characters that we'd like to appear in the new series. We know that the series will follow our homies from Clone Force 99, following the aftermath of Order 66 and the fall of the Republic as they traverse the galaxy as mercenaries. Based on that, there's the possibility we could see some very familiar faces make an appearance in the series. So, let's dive into some characters we'd like to see appear in Star Wars The Bad Batch. Let's start with one of the characters that I'm really hoping to see, that being my homeboy Cad Bane. The dangerous and savvy Duros bounty hunter first appeared in the Clone Wars animated series and went on to appear in multiple episodes throughout the show. He last appeared in the series in the Season 4 episode Crisis on Naboo, being arrested by Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Mace Windu. Other than that, the only other mention of Cad Bane came in the canon comic Kanan number 8, when the Jedi Temple bomber Rackham Seer stated that he paid a hefty sum to Cad Bane for blueprints of the Jedi Temple, and we don't know what happened to him after that. The bombing of the Jedi Temple took place in 19 BBY, the same year as Order 66, so I think it's safe to assume that he's still alive around the time of Order 66. Since The Bad Batch is going to take place following the events of Order 66, I think it'd be awesome to see Bane return in the series and learn more about what he's been up to since we last saw him. Plus, how cool would it be to see him team up with Clone Force 99? Cad Bane was one of my favorite characters to appear in the Clone Wars, so give me more of Cad Bane, please. Another bounty hunter that I'd love to see, and one that I think is almost certainly going to appear in The Bad Batch, is Boba Fett. The Clone Wars animated series showed Boba working his way through the criminal underworld as a bounty hunter, and he's a clone, so revisiting Boba Fett during the rise of the Empire would be baller as hell. Plus, the Clone Wars creators did create unaired episodes with Cad Bane and Boba Fett, one in which the two dueled each other, resulting in the dent in Boba Fett's helmet, so getting to see Boba Fett and Cad Bane together again would be dope. At the very least, I think it's safe to assume that Boba Fett will appear at some point in The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch trailer revealed Fennec Shand will appear in the series, and with the Book of Boba Fett dropping later in the year, I think Boba Fett appearing in The Bad Batch is just too good to pass up. I want to see our boy rocking that Mandalorian armor, baby. Some other bounty hunters we could also see are Embo, Bosk, and maybe even the Wookiee Black Chrysanthemum. Sticking with bounty hunters, Aurra Singh is another character that I'd love to see, and one that I think could absolutely make an appearance in The Bad Batch. Like Cad Bane and Boba Fett, Aurra Singh appeared in multiple episodes of the Clone Wars, and Aurra Singh has worked with Cad Bane and Boba Fett on multiple occasions, so it stands to reason that we may see the Paladuvian bounty hunter at some point in The Bad Batch. In Solo, Tobias Beckett mentions that Lando Calrissian killed Aurra Singh. We don't know when that actually happened, but it would have happened sometime between 21 BBY to 10 BBY. Let's hope she's still alive and kicking during the events of The Bad Batch. Speaking of Lando and Beckett, I think both characters could possibly appear in the series. Our boy Lando would be in his 20s by the time of Order 66, so there's a possibility we could see him make an appearance in The Bad Batch. We know there's going to be a new Lando Calrissian series coming to Disney Plus in the next few years, so having him make an appearance in The Bad Batch could be a great way for Lucasfilm to drum up excitement for the character and the series. In regards to Beckett, he's another character that I think would be awesome to make an appearance in The Bad Batch. I really enjoyed his character, and I think it'd be fun to see him possibly working alongside Val and Rio Duran as well, since we know those characters are around during the time frame of The Bad Batch. While we're discussing characters from Solo, Dryden Voss is another character that would be dope to see in The Bad Batch. Since The Bad Batch will become mercenaries and will probably find themselves caught up in the criminal underworld, Dryden Voss makes a ton of sense as a potential character to appear, especially since an animated version of the character was already created for the Siege of Mandalore arc of Season 7 of the Clone Wars. If Voss were to appear, that would mean there'd be a very strong possibility of seeing the return of our boy, Maul. With Dryden Voss and Maul working together with Maul's Shadow Collective, seeing them work together in the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate would be so freaking cool. At the very least, give me more Maul and more Sam Witwer, please. Sticking in the criminal underworld, we could very much see the likes of some other criminals, such as Jabba the Hutt, maybe Mark Krim and the Pikes, and Zaitan Maj of Black Sun. While we're still discussing the scum and villainy of the Star Wars galaxy, another scoundrel and personal favorite character of mine that we could see is my homeboy Hondo Anaka. Hondo is an anti-hero of sorts, and he's a character that I just absolutely appreciate and enjoy. Hondo appeared multiple times throughout the Clone Wars animated series, as well as in Star Wars Rebels, so I think he'd be another great addition to possibly pop up in the show. Now, since we'll be seeing the rise of the Empire, that means we could see characters such as Darth Vader and Darth Sidious, possibly the Grand Inquisitor, and other members of the Inquisitorius. If that's the case, please, please, please give us some second sister. She's such a ballin'-ass character. We know Tarkin is going to appear in the series since we saw him in the trailer, but other Imperials such as Orson Krennic, Rey Sloane, and Wolf Yularen could also pop up, which would be awesome. We could very much see instances of the Sith, their Inquisitors, and the Empire hunting down remaining Jedi, which would be really cool and could open up the door for characters such as Quinlan Vos, Kanan Jarrus, possibly even my number one homegirl Ahsoka, and maybe our little man Grogu, which would be amazing. I'd love to see some Jedi in this series, and I think it'd be really baller, albeit heartbreaking, to see the Empire hunting down remaining Jedi or former Jedi. Since this series is all about a group of clones, we gotta talk about some other clones who could make an appearance at some point. I think we can fully expect to see some familiar clone faces such as Wolf, Cody, Gregor, and even our homeboy Rex could find their way into the story one way or another. As we can see, the possibilities on where the Bad Batch can go and who we could potentially see appear in the series are almost limitless. There's just so many amazing characters and storylines that the show's developers could craft into the series, and I'd be open to any or all of them. As we get closer to the premiere of the Bad Batch, I'm sure we'll learn more about what we can expect to see in the series, and I can't frickin' wait. But what do you guys think? Who are some characters you'd like to see appear in the Bad Batch? Let us know down in the comments. If you like this video, please help out the channel by hitting that like button and making sure you subscribe. Follow the channel on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Dan's on Fandoms. Thanks for watching, and stay nerdy.